Boom, bam, bam. Manchester United 2, Tottenham Hotspur 0. And we have a special guest making our guest appearance on the program today. Let's go. Good afternoon again, and welcome to the breakdown on the United Hour. I am President Chad. This guy here next to me is Zahir. The one below me is Mark, and the next one is Courtney. Good afternoon, gentlemen. How are you all
Good
feeling today?
afternoon. Good afternoon.
Blessed afternoon, Frederico.
I just have to do it one more time.
Frederico.
Good afternoon to Kes. Come on, people. Good afternoon to Martin Phillip in the comments. Let us know how you're feeling in the comments about that win. Click like, click
I
subscribe,
feel fabulous.
tell,
Fabulous.
share, get people involved in the program. Talk to me. Let's start off with Zaire. Talk to me, Zaire. What did you think about that performance from Manchester
Uh,
United?
I would go out on a limb and say to me it's one of the most complete performances that we have had for the season. At no point in time did I sit back really watching this, barring the opening few minutes where we just took a couple minutes to settle into the game. After that, at no point did I think that Tottenham was going to score. Did I feel that they were going to come back, or did I feel we were going to lose the game? Right? We looked very comfortable in possession. Defensively, we looked solid. I didn't see anybody making any sort of rash challenges, rash decisions. Right? The goalkeeper had probably two saves in the entire match to pull off. Right? Whilst Hugo Lloris is the only reason his scoreline finishes at only 2-0. He pulled off some really wonderful saves today. So this was a very pleasing performance. I don't think the manager could have much to be upset about. So yeah, I'm good.
I mean, just to touch on that point, I don't always rate Lloris. To me, he has his ebbs and flows. You know, at times he performs well, and you consider him a top goalkeeper. He does goalkeep for France, and then that most of the time he just seems to be average. But today, boy, oh my goodness, that man real safe today. Talk to me, Courtney. Talk to me.
I
Thought
didn't
about
see
the performance today.
the entire game. Unfortunately, I was on the road, but from these parts that I did see, it looked like we had a pretty good performance. Fred looked like a Brazilian today. He doesn't usually look like a Brazilian, but today he looked like a Brazilian. I was actually shocked that there was a point in time when they moved him into the number 10 role. And I was like, what? But clearly Fred having a hell of a game. We looked defensively sound. I liked Ahmad gave me Ahmad gave me a nice little cameo performance. I'm a little upset with Bruno because he had no right to be offside for that goal. None. What you literally was looking straight across the line. You hold your run for 2 seconds and it was inside because that man wasn't catching it. But outside of that, I think the only problem that I had is I didn't like what Ronaldo did.
Well, all right, hold on to that. If you didn't say it, I wasn't going to bring it up, because I said today is a good day. We
No.
well,
I remember
and whatever, but
we've had that discussion.
I wanted to talk about, but I said, you know what, depending on how the flow go, I wasn't going to talk about it. But since you bring it up, we will talk about it before the end of the program. But let me deal with that after. Let me just touch some comments. We have Kendall here, and he's saying Bruno and Fred were fantastic, and the defense was solid. Hurricane, who, you understand, can't say much about Sancho, though. He didn't add much to the game based on his hype. Gregory Boris, to all the Fred haters, is saying apologize to that man. Kess is saying I don't want to speak or hear about him We had a fantastic game. And you see, Kes is on the opposite side of the spectrum. He don't want to talk about Ronaldo at all. But don't worry, Kes. We talk about it last. We'll leave that topic for last. Right? Talk to me, Mark.
Remember I tell you?
Oh, what was your prediction on this game when we had spoken and you told me?
What by Cali?
I
Yeah.
know you said we were going to win, but I couldn't remember what your prediction was.
It was 2-1.
It was
That was
2-1,
my
right?
prediction.
Okay.
Yeah. But just Tottenham didn't score.
Which is good.
Yeah, that's good too. I could live with that. You see, remember I tell you, I was worried about Newcastle and not Tottenham and Chelsea.
Same thing with me. I was
worried about Tottenham. And the thing coming in like ice cream. It's starting to come in. Yeah, it's coming in like ice cream.
And let me just say this, Mark, before you continue. As good and as solid as we look today, I think we all know this team could have levels to go up. As solid as we look today,
we know starting. They just level 1 and I just disappointed with refinishing, but it will come.
Let me ask you this question, Mark. I'll start off with you with this question. Out of all the games we've played for the season so far, to me, out of all the games we played for the season so far, to me, this was our most dominant performance. Right? It was comprehensive. Spurs hardly got any shots off. They hardly got any opportunities. And it's one of the reasons too is because the quality of the opposition. I understand that we beat Liverpool. I understand that we beat Arsenal, but those guys had opportunities to score. I wasn't concerned at all about Spurs scoring today. What are your thoughts? Do you think this was our most dominant performance or no?
By far. This was one of the most fluent, most dominant for the season so far. The only stage we could go from here is up. You understand? Because you're now seeing players playing for one another. No set of mad defending. Thank God for Harry Maguire injured, but we'll move on from that. No set of crazy defending.
Two games in a row, the man wasn't even in his stadium, but they're still calling him my name. Boy.
Yeah, I think keep him out now. And people have to understand, it have a reason why Fred playing. It have a reason why Fred does be on the pitch. Ten Hags said it himself. He say he's the best player they have at the counter press. Fred does touch every blade of grass. The kit man call and say the dirtiest kit he doesn't have to wash his Fred on.
I hear that.
Yeah, son. But kudos to the people who keep hating on him. Really wasn't supposed to be talking about that madness CR7 do, but saying that my boy bring it up, we gotta talk about it.
Yeah. Courtney, I know you only saw half of the game, but based on the half that you saw, do you how you rate the performance?
It was a pretty good performance. As Mark alluded, I would love to see our finishing get better because one of the things that we are, I don't want to say failing, I would say struggling. One of the things that we're struggling to do is to kill off teams.
Yes.
And really and truly stamp our authority and say, yeah, this game done. But
just keep teams in the game.
Yeah. After sometimes it's hard to hit teams a little 4 and 5 to remind them that, hey, we's Manchester United. Know your role when they come in here. But as we say, it'll come to come. I'm looking forward to the next game. I think is the Chelsea game on Sunday.
And next game I'm not worried about.
Chelsea, they're looking a little shaky right now, but as they are
London Cowboys.
Oh, go boy, Mark, boy, you can't be getting on so, boy.
Good afternoon to Shavana. Welcome. to the
You know,
comments. Welcome to the breakdown.
Chelsea's a team in transition. I had an interesting thought this today. The traditional Big Six is not the traditional Big Six this year.
No.
So I'd come into the end of the season. Well, after the World Cup, you really see what is
Who's the
happening.
Big Six?
Yeah, because
if that will be the traditional, or it's gonna be mixed up, and someone feel like gonna be mixed up.
The thing is that this, with the World Cup being where it is, it's going to be very hard on teams, especially teams that have a large number of internationals.
Hold on 1 second, Courtney. Hold on 1 second. Raul, I'm sending you the code now. Come in. We don't. I don't. This is the first time in history I'm bringing a man in the show when the show starts. But today, Raul, you're coming in. Come in.
But the man had to call you by your whole government name before he gets in the show.
I'm smelling a bacchanalist.
Wow.
Go ahead, Courtney. Go ahead.
Yeah.
So we'll see how the people playing for their position on our plane will impact the overall league. Because that's what men playing for right now. Men playing for two reasons: to get a ticket to go to the World Cup once the team has qualified, and to stay healthy.
Yeah, for real.
That's what men playing for.
I wanted to ask Zaire about this comment here. You know, we all thought to ourselves before the game that, you know, Casemiro would do a job on Kane. But you know, one of the shortest men on the pitch, I remember there was a point where Kane took a shot and it went wide, but they were awarded a corner because Martinez slided. And the camera, Martinez went up to Kane like, you know I didn't touch that ball, you know. And the camera zoomed in and you saw how the height difference between Kane and Martinez, because Martinez seeing him man badge. Martinez watching him man badge down here. But Kane give Kane an opportunity to breathe, boy. Kane did every time Kane touched that ball, Martinez was just like boom.
Yeah, the butcher.
I mean, talk to me, Zai. What you thought about Martinez's performance today?
Well, basically, the man turned Tottenham's hurricane into ITCZ, right? All bluster and no substance, right? And I mean, when the man eye level with the badge, well, that just makes them see red, because you know what happens when Argentinians see an England badge? They see red, right? So with he seeing Kane and that Tottenham badge, the man just see red. But overall, I think Lisandro Martinez has been playing with a chip on his shoulder from day one, because he no doubt heard the comments the pundits make, the disparaging remarks, the way that he was written off before he kicked the ball first. Right?
Yeah.
And he knows more than any other player on our team that he literally has to be at 110% every game, because they will nitpick over his every and any mistake that he makes. So this man is going to play on a chip on his shoulder, and long may it continue to bash him about his height, right? As we mentioned, I just want to step back quick. Man come with a whole squad, boy.
Go back, Canal.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
That brew looks very cold, sir. I like it so. Beastly cold.
Was that this?
Yeah.
Of course.
The
back, we celebrating the victory. Spurs, nothing. As I say, they have a chicken standing on a ball, or a cock, or whatever it is standing on a ball. It's to cook your food and eat it. Chicken only good for pot, boy. Tutu and ham. FC. But anyway, good evening, everyone. Good evening.
Tutu and ham FD.
It was a bit remiss of chat. Yeah, the comedy shot. Is cheer away. Yes. You understand? We moving like the three basket yesterday. Yeah. Let me see if I can give you camera a little more high.
Technical difficulties.
But I know they'll be back.
two quick points. Where Courtney was talking about our finishing. Just before halftime, the commentators were making a point. At that time, it was still 0-0. And they were saying in the last 3 games, we had something like 64 shots, 18 on target, and had scored 1 goal. Right? And that is a very telling statistic. And we really and truly need to improve that. But whilst we talk about performance, before I forget, I want to give a shout out to referee Simon Hooper, because before our second goal, he could have called the play dead for the offside against Kane. It was an excellent refereeing decision, and we just bash referees plenty. So I want to shout out the man for
what impressed me today was the pace of the game.
Yeah.
That is what impressed me the most today. We didn't drop the tempo at no time at all.
Let's bring the 3 Musketeers into the program. Gentlemen, we were asking the question before if this performance today was the best performance that we've seen from Manchester United for this season. I think so. What you all have to say about that? Which perception in the chat as well?
Let me drop back and let the 2 peripherals come in so they could talk.
Let Greg B go first now. I have my opinion.
I think it's safe to say this really was one of our better performances, because for us it was more of a complete performance. It wasn't just like one half. You see, we played good, and then the next half we dropped in levels. There was more consistency throughout the game. So United actually looked like they were a threat for the full 90 minutes instead of like just for 45 minutes. So yeah, I can kind of agree with this is probably one of our better performances, because it was a consistent energy, it was a consistent attacking threat, and to see Fred score.
Greg,
I apologize to that man. I'm saying it again. Apologize.
Greg, what tell us happen when Fred score?
Hey, who say that?
Hey, Mark.
When Fred score, what tell us happen?
No, you ain't like yet, boy, Mark, but you ain't like yet. So, but introduce yourself.
Good night. United team. Hey, Prezi Chad, what's up?
This is Mr. Jonathan Bond, for anybody who knows his name.
Yes. I know Prezi Chad, but of course. Zahir, good night. Courtney, good night.
Good night.
So
if I were to rate our performance, what's that?
Talk to me. What is your thoughts on the game today?
Right. If I had to rate our performance today, I wouldn't say it's one of our better performances for this season. Yes, for sure. But we still have to look at some of the drawbacks in terms of. I think Rashford should have already scored. He got going, he got some nice chances, but I think Rashford should have scored at least 1, right? But I like how Bruno took charge of the game. He was getting out of play. There was nitpicking at Bruno because Bruno was having a good game, and they started to really close down on Bruno, as teams usually do when they realize he gets going and he in those pocket spaces. But I like how he took charge of the game, and he was captain today, and he led by example, you know. So that was what really made us exceptional today, in my opinion.
All right.
Fair enough.
Well, this performance to me is definitely one of the best I've seen for the season. And I've said and I've told people since the second half of the City game, we have been playing well. But we just need to fine-tune and convert our chances. Mm-hmm. Right? But today was the game of the P's. Pressing, persistence, pace, and the pasta. I done talk. Viva the pasta!
So, come on, people. A lot of people tuning in. Press that like button if you think Fred was in the match today.
Raul.
Yes, sir.
You see them men and them who one game they just bash men, and then the next game they just put them on a pedestal.
Well, you see, if you saw my comment on a certain man's post in our WhatsApp chat in the supporters Caribbean chat, I said Hush now. And I said nothing else after that.
Yeah. I ain't gonna call no name because name is for team stone.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I ain't calling no name.
That cold dread out there, boy. That cold real dread out there.
Allergic to BS.
Yeah.
No, but I think I
When I hear the man voice note, I was like, but this man,
All right,
he's
guys.
right next to Satan, one day.
Had to keep it relevant to the show. Everybody would know what you are talking about. So
that was it.
That's okay,
question on the board is,
like the trash Fred.
Is Fred the man of the match?
Yes, he is.
In the words of man, put some respect on Fred's name.
I would not.
Fred was man of the match. You know why Fred was man of the match? As I commented and I showed these guys today, this was Shakhtar Fred, aka Brazil Fred, on show today. Box to box, full of running and heart.
Let me hear the term musketeer there, because it sounds like he don't agree with Fred being the man of the match.
Yeah, you don't agree.
Here's the thing with Fred. Sorry.
Well, yeah, I apparently am the odd one out today, but I honestly, Fred had a real good game. I'm not going to understand that. My man of the match, honestly, I'll have to get to Bruno. I had to get to Bruno because I think it wasn't just his goal, you know. It wasn't just the goal. To me, he actually led the team. It was a full captain performance. He was under a lot of pressure, and he actually led the team going forward. Most of the attacks, if you watch them, Bruno was actually leading the attacks forward. You understand? Yeah. Bruno wasn't just like usual. Bruno, when he started to get closed down, he started to get frustrated, and he was actually moving around the place. You understand? In that free roll, and he took advantage of the free roll today. I go have to kind of say Tottenham midfield looked all over the place, and I did tell her that when I was watching the game. Yeah. Tottenham midfield looked all over the place. They look nothing like the previous games they played in the season. No, this is one of the bigger games they played for the season. You understand? It's one of the bigger teams. So you had to kind of, the pressure maybe got to them, and then it's Old Trafford they're playing in, so the pressure got to them.
Just so one thing, put some respect on United name.
Yeah, that's what we have to tell them. Yes, not just Fred, but United in general.
Can I chime in on here?
Yeah, I can. You can go ahead.
I understand you. I feel you. I feel you, but
quick.
When Fred score, you had to give Fred man of the match. I feel you, know. But when Fred score, Fred get man of the match.
Well, what I trying to say?
That's nothing.
But if we
when Fred score, Fred get man of the match. Maradona could come back from the grave and score. Fred get man of the match.
But President Chat, to be fair to Fred, what Fred brings to this side is the energy that a lot of times we don't necessarily get from a lot of other midfielders. So for him to be able to do that and still get a goal out of all of this, I still think that it makes it an exceptional performance. I mean, everybody would expect something from Bruno, whether it's a goal, whether it's an assist, whether it's a clinical pass. Fred was able to get himself into the game into a position where he became a threat attacking wise. And that's not something we necessarily say a lot of. A lot of people are quick to shoot down. Can I finish my point, please? I'm being interrupted here. No manners in the people. Anyway, so my thing is that with Fred is like everybody expects him, the roles that he's been given in previous games. He's either been asked to play as a 6 or as a deeper 8. In situations like this, when he's able to get forward and he's able to show that he has the capability to get a goal to his name, I think that gives him a lot more credit because he adds an element that not everybody expects. Because you saw it in previous games, like so when he played Crystal Palace, when we played Leeds, he gets forward. Sometimes he may not have the best of shot, but when it comes off, Fred is a whole different kind of beast. So for me, Fred gets man of the match because he added more to the attack going forward.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you just tuning in, welcome to the Fred Show.
Just remember he had a pinball assist to it. Just see.
That is nothing. It's man of the match.
Good afternoon to Nigel. All right, let me come back to the guys in house here. Zaire, there were times in the game today, if I'm honest, Fred made some 20-30 yard passes, and I was wondering, did this substitute Eriksson? And did Eriksson get a tan when he wasn't there? And I didn't know. because those passes will not Fred like. Let me be honest with you all today. Let me be honest.
Wow.
Fred has had many good games for us in his time here. He has had a lot of bad games as well, right? The biggest issue is that he loses the ball. That is our biggest issue. But a lot of times, a good game for Fred is him being tenacious, getting back ball recovery, a nice short, crisp 3 to 5 yard passes. And all of us, if we get that from Fred every week, we could be happy.
Yeah.
The balls I see Fred play today was not Fred-like. Forget about Fred looking like a Brazilian today. Fred looked like
World Cup Fred you see today. World Cup Fred you see today.
Talk to me, Zaire. What you thought about Fred today?
It is about a player's confidence and belief in themselves. And I think what is going to happen also too is he now has his international team here with him in Casemiro and Anthony. So I think even when he comes off of a bad performance, and I think everybody can agree he had one of the worst performances of the team in the game against Newcastle, and he rightly got some stick fit. But I think those guys are going to be there in the dressing room. They're going to be there in his ear. They're going to be telling him that they believe in him. The fact that the manager started him today instead of Scott, who everybody expected would have started, was a big boost to his confidence. And Fred is a guy who has to get that confidence in him. It remains to be seen if I don't think it's so much if the manager would tolerate, inconsistent performances, but it's the fan base that seems to never have patience with him. That the minute he steps a toe out of line, we baying like hounds for his head on a platter, right? And here it is, we see today that if you give the man a chance, he can redeem himself. And he didn't redeem himself against number 20 on the league table. He redeemed himself against the team that's in third position on the table, right? So,
according to you, we had a game 2 chances back to back.
That's the whole thing. Fred need more than 90 minutes to get his radar. He need a 90 minutes warm up and then 45 minutes in the first half. And so that's 90 plus 45. And he going to be firing the rest of the
Go ahead,
Zahir, teach, my brother. I just want to support what you said by saying big players for big games.
Big players for big games.
I am a firm believer in courses for horses. I don't know about big players for big games.
Yeah,
but
courses for different courses.
And I think this comment by Ken. This comment by Ken.
On that?
You gotta ask President Chad to chime.
I'd ask Chad, can I chime in on that? What Raul is trying to say here?
Let me read this comment first, and then you will get a chime in, and then we'll go to Courtney. Yesterday, Ten Hags said he would not be distracted by any contract talk till the end of the season. All man Jack have to perform consistently if they want contract renewed. Because as we've seen, he's not afraid of getting rid of anyone. I want to say this, remember your comment, bro. Remember your comment. I want to say this. Out of all the players who's up for contract renewals, Fred and David are here on the bottom of my list, and I believe most United people's list, because the players up for renewal are Shaw, Rashford, De Gea, Delo, and Fred. Right? Those are the 5 players that at the end of the season we either give them the extend their contract or renew them. And out of those 5, I think David De Gea and Fred are the players on the bottom. And all I have to say is that clearly these players love Manchester United and they want to stay, because Fred and David De Gea playing for the contract. I see David De Gea sit a 60-yard ball today, distributing kick out from the back, straight from the penalty, straight to a man in the next half. I say, wait, I don't rub my eyes. I say, but it's Van der Sar. David De Gea. Straight on.
Nah, I bring
David Van der Sar. David Van der Sar.
No chance.
David Van der Sar.
I order a container direction for him.
Men playing for the contract. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Van der Sar is Van der Sar. Let me leave it there.
I order a container direction for the highway. I fed up.
Van der Sar name put up.
No, we forgetting to mention what we get a clean sheet, right? 2-0 we win, right? We nobody talking about the defense. So I gonna bring it up.
No, well, we
Right?
or they come in
No.
late, or they forget, or
You
they
come in
forget.
late, we don't talk about
sorry,
that.
my bad.
That's a thing
Oh,
already.
sorry,
Yeah.
sorry.
We don't talk about that already.
Oh,
We talk
serious.
about that. The first thing we talk about.
We don't talk about everybody. Yeah.
I think I can still touch some points.
No,
about it.
just say kudos to the 2 clean sheets back to back. Back to back clean sheets. It's not like
I gotta say
Excellent
Ten Hag.
stuff.
I give in Ten Hag a little play because he made one substitution that I disagreed with first, and I tell you that when he bring on Scott, and I was like, why he doing that? And he take off Casemiro, which I find was playing good, right?
yeah,
But
some Scott for Anthony. Yeah?
Anthony, right? Okay, sorry, but when he brought him on, I realized, I now understand why he bring on Scott, because Scott actually solidified the backline. The backline was getting less pressure because Scott was playing like a third centre back. And
Exactly.
the backline get really eased up, and then we was able to just issue that tunnel like normal, like a
He bring
old
on the
Alex
Terminator to do a
Ferguson,
job.
you know the old Alex Ferguson tunnels we used to get? Yes. Ten Hag bring back that, and I like that. That moment was nice.
All right, cool. Courtney, let's talk about Cristiano Ronaldo. No, Nigel, we didn't talk about Cristiano Ronaldo before.
Let me replenish my drink.
We didn't talk about Cristiano Ronaldo before, but we're gonna do it now. So Courtney, the ball is in your court. For anybody who is unsure,
I understand that you're frustrated, that you wanted to come on, but as a professional, you cannot walk down the tunnel before the game is done. Now, remember, one of the earlier shows we were saying, the question would always be if Ronaldo will let his ego mash up his legacy at United. And today's action is the start of a very small squad to get an avalanche. Because they can't tell me as a professional that the game ain't done yet. No, it could be, and I want to give him the benefit of the doubt, that he had a conversation with Coach Man, and Coach Man tell him, well, here what's going on. Coach are probably not feeling well, are going in the dressing room to treat with the matter. I want to believe that is what happened. I don't want to believe that as a seasoned professional with at least 18 years of service in the professional game, that you take it upon yourself to walk off the warm-up and walk down the tunnel.
Now, I wanna say this to put what Courtney just said in context. This is about the third or fourth time for the season when Ronaldo hasn't scored. Or let me just say for this season, since Ronaldo has been here, where Ronaldo hasn't been involved in games, or he played and he didn't score, and he left Old Trafford or the away game without waving or giving the fans any kind of kudos. Somebody made a statement, not in the show, that one of the problems with his behavior today is that you're not paying the fans respect. And that is the issue I have as well with what Ronaldo did, right? The fact that we winning at home, stay back, wave to the fans. People was chanting your name. You didn't play, and people chant your name in the stadium. I heard the Ronaldo chant at least 3 times for the game. Probably they chant more.
No,
right?
We don't remember. We didn't see if he come back out after he went down.
That is true. And let's hope that he did, because that is, if he didn't, that is unacceptable. You have to give the fans respect. I understand you're disappointed he didn't play. I like to see that kind of passion that players want to play for the club and they want to perform, but you can't let that, get in the way of you giving the fans respect. Mark, talk to me.
The end of the road is near. January soon come.
Mark ready to ship out the man already, yes.
January soon come. No, because you're being professional all along. Your attitude was good thing, all right, nice. But as Chad said, since he come back, it's about the third or fourth time he do some sort of strippiness, not paying the fans the respect. It have fans traveling all over England to see you, all over the world, because in Europe, people coming to see you. So you have to pay the fans the respect. And that action today was total nonsense. I want to believe he get a phone call that something he dog dead or some kind of thing, and or he goldfish make young ones or some kind of thing, and he had to rush to go and see him.
Hashtag selfish.
Before I go to the men and them in the bar, what are your thoughts on Ronaldo's early exit today?
Ronaldo,
Zaire?
January soon come.
Listen, as a I want to say diehard Ronaldo fan because the man made watching football so enjoyable. And I celebrate the fact that in my lifetime I have seen one of the greatest footballers ever to play the sport. However, there comes a point in time where you have to ask yourself, as most of us are, is his ego going to allow him to do what is right for the team? Right? Is it that he just can't accept that he cannot be the star and the main man anymore? And I don't think there is any club or league in the world that he can go to where he can be that main man and starting barring going to somewhere in Saudi Arabia or the
MLS.
or MLS, right? Any European league, right?
Eddie
He
Hart.
will not. Jesus Christ, the man reach Eddie Hart. Yes.
Just go. If I may interject at this point in time, just to kind of give my 2 cents on the whole thing.
I bring in you all in. I want
Okay.
Zaire to finish. I want to read a comment, and you all going to close off this segment on Ronaldo. Go ahead.
I really hope that he takes a look in the mirror and understands that what he is doing is disrespectful to the fans who have supported him all his career. That is where I'm looking at it. Don't disrespect the fans.
So on that note, let me read this comment from Guest. He's saying that Chris Wheeler interviewed with Ten Hag after the game, and he asked him about Ronaldo's walking off. And Ten Hag said, I have seen him. I didn't speak to him after. I will deal with that tomorrow. So clearly, if Ronaldo's goldfish was making young, Ten Hag did not know. Because I think if he did, he would have said Ronaldo had a emergency, right? He didn't say that. He said, I will deal with that tomorrow. So let's see how that goes. So go ahead, Greg.
My thing is that at the end of the day, Ronaldo has to understand that there's a certain level of professionalism that has to be carried out when it comes to dealing with things. You're part of a football team. This is a club that celebrated you from your developmental years into becoming the superstar that you are today. So for you to walk off on them like that before the game has finished, there's a certain measure of disrespect that's being shown there to the fan base. The thing I have with Cristiano Ronaldo is that he still thinks that he needs to be the main man in the situation, and Ten Hag is debunking that whole idea. Because you can clearly tell he's picking players who fit his system rather than the basis of big names and reputation. You have to work to get in your positions. You have to do it based on merit. And Cristiano Ronaldo's inconsistency has caused him to be on the bench more than anything else.
Yeah.
I understand that at the end of the day, you will want at any professional footballer, at any professional athlete, you will want to be in the mix. You will want to be a part of the whole thing. And in Cristiano Ronaldo's case, because he may think he may be able to get a goal in a game like this, he'll want to be a part of the headline. But now you find yourself making headlines for all the wrong reasons.
Once in the headlines, he don't care.
No, but here the interesting thing.
And that's the problem. And that is the problem.
If that was Alex Ferguson, he would have never done something like that. He would have never.
Well, that is true. And because
so Courtney, let me ask you this: you think he was doing that at Real Madrid, Ancelotti and Zidane and all them fellas too?
He would have guessed on button.
No, but the Real Madrid fans would have dealt with him because he used to have.
Ten Hag was still letting the whoop. There's no time when they ought to be doing anything though. That's why you go see our next bench. But bet your bottom dollar, he's going to start bench against Chelsea again.
Yeah. It is reported that he has had fallen off with Zidane and things, so it is not just a United disrespect thing.
Yeah, he fallen off with Zidane already.
That has dogged his career going places. And this is what we have to say to Cristiano Ronaldo right now.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
Lord.
Damn right.
Damn right.
Shame.
Raul,
Bloody shame.
Raul, talk to me.
I'm going to be brief. You can do that? Oh, shame on. Yeah, I gave you all the P's of the game today, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you one more P.
Pathetic.
Anti-man behavior. And that is it. I don't talk.
Ways!
Emotional damage.
Them had them thing on corker.
I done.
But it's how people happy he do that, you know.
Somebody listen.
Why you say that?
Somebody needs to signal that barman to cut
No.
off them. I think
No,
they
I's the only odd one in this three amigos, boy. Like, I's the odd one.
We talking about Ronaldo.
Ronaldo, yeah. So,
Ronaldo.
no, I'm going to say
Behavior.
something totally different to what they
You
going to
ain't
say
drinking
now.
up. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I feel I ain't drinking enough. Or they drinking too much. So, no. When it happened, right? Remember when it happened, I was like, it's nice. Don't get on. He going diarrhea back and all. He ain't going to get a start Saturday, right? Now, in a way, I kind of understand where Ronaldo coming from in terms of his ability, the things he's done as a footballer, as a professional. But at the same time, too, he needs to have respect for Ten Hag, and that is what he do have. He doesn't have respect for Ten Hag. Now, had it been a let me say, a bigger name manager, let me say it was Zidane or a bigger name manager, he would have that respect. He not walking off on Zidane. He not walking off on Carlo Ancelotti.
He has.
And what the only put
So where he is now. Just understand where he is now.
my point is exactly that. He is either one or two things going to happen. Is either he going to still start Saturday, or
Even if he didn't walk off, he wasn't going to start Saturday.
He's on the brink of leaving in January. So it's either one or two things going to happen. If he doesn't start Saturday, he's going to leave in January.
We're going to get this guy some more alcohol so he can actually talk some sense, right?
Well, let's put that man out the bar, please.
Cute thing. Oh,
What do you? Yeah, for the hard thing, Steve, but I really different, man. They're off in this group,
that's what we do.
But brother, I feel you. I hear what you're saying. But even if he didn't walk off the bench today, he wasn't going to start Saturday.
You know, I posted on the United app, you could organize your team and make your predictions and stuff, right? And I predicted it 2-0. But in my starting 11, the front four that Ten Hag went with, right? Of Rashford, Sancho, Anthony, and Bruno. That was the front four I picked.
Yeah.
I didn't have Ronaldo in my starting lineup for the simple reason that Ten Hag wants mobility. He needed mobility in this game, and based on the last game, Ronaldo just doesn't do it. Ronaldo, and I will tell you something, at the beginning of the game, I don't know if you all noticed it, but Rashford was kind of hitting it at Ronaldo, kind of jog towards the goalkeeper and not trying to initiate the press. And Ten Hag, the commentator mentioned it, Ten Hag pull up Rashford on it. Ten Hag and said, no, I want more energy from you. And when we started, look, these guys are good at what they do. Spurs is a counter-attacking team. They have excellent players, good defenders. None of those guys are weak on the ball. But our press caused Spurs problems. I don't know if it's something wrong with their team, because I don't think, to me, the press was like deadly today. But the press clearly caused Spurs problems.
Remember,
and that is what the manager wants. And Ronaldo cannot do it. So I know
that is why. That is why he started the press boss.
Conte is not the coach for Tottenham right now.
Well,
remember we had that conversation earlier.
I wouldn't disagree with you there.
He is not the man for Tottenham. No, I'm
Tottenham
not taking
Spurs has become a very one-dimensional team. and it wasn't that under Pochettino.
Correct. They wouldn't, even when Nuno got sacked, you saw what Nuno was trying to do. He may not have had the players like what he had in Wolves to get them to play the particular brand of football that he was looking for. But Conte's style does not suit the kind of players that he has in Tottenham right now.
Nope.
It's going to be interesting. I don't think he's going to be the manager at the end of the season.
Well, if
his
he don't make
contract
top
is up at the
four,
end of the season.
I would think they would want to
Conte is too defensive.
Facts. All right, guys, we're looking to wind it up. Manchester United dominating Spurs. I mean, that is so nice to see. It's not, it's good to win, but to actually say that we dominated our top 6 team. You know, we dominated this team, the possession. Let me just read out some stats for you guys. Let me put it in perspective.
Hold on, Chad. Before I say that, remember we were saying earlier, the traditional top 6 is not the top 6 this season.
Exactly.
I agree with you, but you could only be 2 in front of you, bro.
Huh?
You could only be 2 in front of you.
It's definitely because of the fact that Arsenal's top of the table is definitely not the traditional top 6.
That is a fact. Nobody
There was
can
an ex-Arsenal player had Arsenal to fail after the World Cup.
Well, we'll see. Watch
That
meme with the elephant on top of the tree. I save it on my phone, no, because I tell myself it's either one or two things, and I ain't gonna be able to use it at all, or it is going to become also truthful at some point in time. So I have it. So we had 10 shots today on target. 10 shots on target. 10 shots on target. 8 shots off target. 18 shots in total. To Spurs 2, they had 2 shots on target. 3 shots whole game. Tottenham Hotspurs had 3 shots. In terms of possession, the possession stats at the end of the game was we only slightly ahead, 52%. We had more corners. We just dominated the game, and I wanted 2 players in particular. I want to highlight their stats because these 2 guys have been in for a lot of criticism, and deservedly so. When players not playing well, I don't have a problem with people calling them out. But when they do well, we have to give them props. And the players' stats I want to call out today is Fred and Bruno Fernandes. Right? Fred had a total of 55 passes and 43 completed. Fred completed 80%. 80% of his passes today.
World Cup Fred, boy.
He had 8 duels won. Obviously, he scored a goal. Right? Bruno Fernandes, total passes 68. Bruno Fernandes completed 63% of his passes. Shiver me timbers and blow me down. Bruno Fernandes completed 90% of his passes today. You understand what I'm saying? He had a total of 6 shots and 1 goal. Diego Dalot had 57 passes, completed 51. 51. I mean, we've spoken about this team when they perform badly. The whole team a lot of times has performed badly. But today, Fred led the way, but in terms of his output, I don't mean Bruno led the way in terms of his leadership. Fred led the way in terms of his output, but the whole team stepped up today. Everybody had a good game. So I'll just go around and give you all final words. Let's start with Rahul.
Can I? I want to share this. And as I pull up the app now, because I was checking your stats, right? Which is fine. But we actually had a total of 28 shots today. Versus 9.
28. Okay.
28.
But I wasn't watching. I wasn't watching from the United app.
Yeah, but from the United, we had 28 shots. But you know, them just count everything that's going in stand and thing too. But anyway, so I just want to, I'm scrolling through, I just want to share this. And this is what I want to share based on Eric Ten Hag's comments after his post-match interview. We have come more good performances. I think Liverpool, Arsenal, but today you can see the development. You can see over the last weeks that we are growing into the season. That's all right. That we are getting more proactive, in and out of possession. What we've been seeing. That's why even with the 0-0 draw against Newcastle, I wasn't upset because you see the progress. And that is what we want to see because we know, all of us here know that when we start to click and function like that well-oiled machine that we can, everybody dead.
People dead. Yeah.
All right. Well, I see Greg nodding, so we'll move along. Mark, closing comments.
People dead. Yeah, I tell you, the thing, as I said, coming in like ice cream. You know when they turn in them old ice cream peel and it's starting to get stiff? It's starting to get stiff. Once we start to hit the back of the net regular, you have to get a Ninja Man thing, a Monkey Killer thing, or whoever saying that people dead, sides dead. We will be unstoppable. You understand? So for all the people who hating, and I mean United fans who hating on men, if all they hating on men, stop that stupidness. It's a process and we're seeing the improvement. Give it time. And if all they hating on a man, keep hating on him. Don't praise him when he do good. You hear me? Okay, I wouldn't call no name. Name is a tombstone. But the messy fans on them now. Yeah. Yeah, I don't say anything, boy, because that does help me sleep comfortably in the night. Messy fans on them, let's stop that stupidness. Yeah? See how them do shit? Yeah, you can get bashed for them. That was total madness. I'm not supporting that. As big as our player is, I'm not supporting that madness. Respect the coach, respect the fans. Christy, I know this message will reach you. You're on shit. Yeah? But come Saturday, people dead. The London Cowboys, well, they watch out. We coming.
I like that. Courtney, talk to me.
Mark, you need to stop calling the people on them the London Cowboys. Please and thanks. Right? I'm happy that for the first time in a while, we are looking like a proper team. You know, we've seen that players playing for one another, men running hard. You know, it have superstars in this team, but there are no superstars in the team. Everybody coming into play.
Unit.
I want to hope, and I will continue to hope that we will continue to build and grow and not stall out. My concern is our squad is good but not great. So in comparisons to all the title-winning squads that we've had over the years and even other teams' title-winning squads, when they line it up man for man, we do have that easily replaceable person. So, for example, and I hate to do this, but there's the best example right now. City could literally take their whole bench, drop it into the first team, and there would be a marginal difference, but it wouldn't be a drastic difference. No, I want, and I also want to see some of the young guys. You know, I was glad to see Ahmad today. I'm still waiting for Zidane Iqbal and what's Savage first name, boy? Can't remember Savage first name right now. For those guys to get an opportunity to get a run in a team, because I really think they will do well.
That's a correction. Ilanga, not Ahmad.
I swear I see Ahmad on the field today.
No, Ahmad is still on loan.
Ilanga.
Is Ilanga?
Ahmad not even at the club.
My apologies. But it was good. He had a pretty decent game too for the time that a nice little cameo. But that's the only thing, the only issue I would say that I have with Ten Hag right now. I would like to see a little more of those guys get involved. But again, we have what? 8 or 9 games before the official stop of the league. A chat?
Now we don't have so much games, and I'm
Isn't
thinking
it?
of about five or six games before
5 or
World Cup.
6? Well, 5 or 6 games. So between now and whenever we restart in January, is December or January?
Boxing Day.
Boxing Day? Well,
Mhm.
hopefully those guys get a chance to prove themselves. And we will take it from shred to shred. I'm not counting no chickens before they hatch. At the end of the season, we will see what Ten Hag has done, what he hasn't done, and where we need to go. But I'm liking what I'm seeing thus far.
A very measured thoughts there from Courtney. Talk to me, Zaire, last man on the comment block. Take us out.
I wanna lay out a challenge for my team. I think the biggest thing for them this season will obviously be a top 4 finish. Right? I don't think we're gonna get anywhere near to being close to winning the title because I still think that there's just too much of a gap between us and the teams that are in the top 2 right now in terms of how they're performing right now. So barring those 2 teams having a catastrophic fall off or everybody that goes to the World Cup coming back injured for those 2 clubs, I can't see anybody really running away and catching them. Right? So I think once we get into the top 4, it's a step in the right direction. But I want to throw it out a little more. I think it would do even more for their confidence and development if we win one trophy this year, whether it's League Cup, FA Cup, Europa Cup. If we can snag one trophy with a team that is not yet quite the finished article and that he is still building and molding, come next season, there's going to be no stopping this club.
I mean, if Ten Hag could make a run for the title within his first 2 seasons, I think I would agree with you that's a real achievement because we all know that this team needed a lot of work.
Nah, I would prefer, and I'll be just to jump off of what Zahir said, I would prefer that he takes 3 years to make that proper title run and build a proper team than we have what we had when Ole came in and we came second. And I think this 2 seasons before that when Jose came second as well, where we had that premature dawn and the team wasn't quite ready. So let me take my time, let me build the thing proper, and then make the title run. Let me don't rush it.
I mean, I hear you, you know. I hear you. But I also believe that Ten Hag is a superior coach. And I also think he is not going to allow the Glazers to get away with shortchanging him. Let's remember that we spent more than double what we were supposed to spend in the summer. And then there were rumors coming out, Manchester United not going to spend much in January. And then recently we heard that the club will be spending in January. I don't think Ten Hag, as long as he's there, is going to allow these guys to get away with shortchanging him. And as a result, because I believe in his superior technical ability, I think he could do it. You know, once he continues to be supported, he could go do it ahead of schedule. I like Courtney, my thing at the beginning of the season was 3 seasons. Right? This team needed windows for him to turn over players and, you know, all the things to put in place. But if he could get this team to play like a Ten Hag team, it wouldn't surprise me one bit if we do win something this year, as Zahara said, or if we do challenge next season. But yeah. So let me just read one comment here. Ten Hag will go for it all. Failure is not an option. But that's how we do song, as he say, we're supposed to win all the games. As I always say, Red Devils, we don't die, we multiply. Our next game is on Saturday, 12:30. The team is going to be
Look out, Cowboys, we coming.
The team is going to be down at 63.
It's the Chelsea Cowboys. Sorry, it's the Chelsea Cowgirls.
Chelsea Cowboys.
Well, Elita, stop it, please.
We coming. The London Cowboys. We'll be there.
Them boy mobile, you know. Them boy take the ball on the road, you know.
We are on the way
People,
to the London
enjoy
Cowboys.
the rest of your
Yes.
Wednesday, and remember, you know what I mean. Wait till
Raul.
to drink, right? Don't drink and drink.
Raul.
Yeah, man.
Greg go on
Yes.
this?
No, you right there. I am right here, sir. I am
Right. What is
here.
that when Fred score? 3 points.
Right through is blessed. It's blessed.